Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students, how are you? I hope you'll be fine. So today we are going to learn about finding the volume and surface area of cylinders. Okay, so cylinder is another 3D shape which has two identical circular bases. The two bases are circle in shape each, and then we have a height between them which is the rectangle in shape. Okay, so this is how a cylinder looks like. In a cylinder we have two identical bases, just like a prism. When we talked about a prism, so in a prism we had two identical bases, and then the rest were all rectangles joining the two bases. Okay, so just like 3D shape, any other 3D shape, it has two identical bases, two circles, and in between the two circles we have a height which is rectangular in shape. So if we talk about this circle, we can easily find out the area of this circle. Okay, how do we find the volume? For volume we use the formula area of base multiply by height, right? And this is what we have learned for cube, cuboid, prisms, and now for cylinders. So area of base will be the area of the circular shape, and we already know that area for finding the for a circle, the area can be found using the formula pi r square, where r represents the radius, the length from the center to the edge, this is the radius, and the value of pi is constant 22/7, right? Or you can use pi as 3.14 as well. And then for the height, so this is the height from top to bottom, that is the distance between the two bases is called the height, so we will multiply it by height. Okay, so if let's say the radius is given as 2 centimeters and the height is given as 7 centimeters, so what we will do, we'll use the formula volume is equals to 22/7 multiply by 2 square multiply by 7, the height. So we can cross out 7 with 7, then square of 2 is 4, so we'll multiply 22 by 4 and we will get the answer 88 centimeter cube. That's all. Similarly, let's take another example. For example, the radius is given as 14 centimeters and the height is 20 centimeters. So the volume will be 22/7 multiply by 14 square multiply by 20. Okay, so 14 square means 22 multiply by 20 is equals to 440 multiply by 14 multiply by 14/7. 7 ones are 7, 7 twos are 14. Now we'll multiply 14 by 2, which gives us 28. 28 multiply by 440 is equals to 12320 centimeter cube. Don't forget to put the unit cube over the unit, because for cubes, for volume we use the unit cube. If we talk about the next question, so this time we have to take the value of pi as 3.14. Previously we were taking the value of pi as 22/7, but now we will take it in decimal. Why? Because this time, previously when we had the radius or the height in as a multiple of 7, so we were taking the value 22/7 because it crossed out 7. But here in this case, when the radius or height is none of them is 7 or a multiple of 7, so we'll take the value of pi as 3.142, because 22/7 or the value of pi is 3.142 in decimal, so we can take this value as well. So let's say the radius is 3 meters and the height is 5 meters and we have to find out the volume. So what will happen, it will be 3.142 multiply by 3 square multiply by 5. So the square of 3 is 9, 9 5s are 45. So what do we have to do next? We have to multiply 3.142 with 45 and we will get the answer. Okay, so you can easily multiply it on the using the calculator or even without calculator in 2 steps, and the answer will be around 141.39 meter cube. But since the question says write the answer to correct to 3 significant figures, so we'll write it down 1 2 3 up to 1, and since the digit next to 1 is 0.3, so the answer will be 141 meter cube. Okay, oh, not meter cube, since yes, meter cube, since it's volume. Now the next question is, let's say the radius is 3.5 centimeters and the height is 1.2 centimeters. So the volume is gonna be 3.142 multiplied by 3.5 square multiplied by 1.2. First of all, we will find out the square of 3.5. So 3.5 multiplied by 3.5 is equals to 12.25. Now we will multiply it by 1.2. So multiply by 1.2 is equals to 14.7, and then when we will multiply it by 3.142, so we will get 46.1874. But let's write it down to three significant figures. So 1 2 3, this is the third significant figure, but digit next to it is 8. So what we will do, we will round it to 46.2, and the unit will be centimeter cube. That's all. Here comes the next question, which says taking pi is equal to 3.142. You will be provided with the value of pi either in fraction or decimal, and if they do not provide you with the value or they do not specify, then you can either use 22/7 or 3.142. That would be your choice. But if it's given and then it says taking pi as 3.142, then you are specified to use the given value. So find the volume of a cylindrical tank of diameter 42 centimeters and height. This time we are provided with the diameters in both the cases, and in both the cases we are having cylindrical shape tank or mug, and the diameter and the height are given, and we have to write down the answer correct to three significant figures. So we'll do the same thing. Since the diameter is given but we use the radius, so first we will divide it by 2 and we will get the radius, which is 21 centimeters, right? And now using 21 centimeters and height of 5 centimeters, we will now use the formula pi r square h, that is 3.142 multiplied by 21 square multiplied by 5, right? So first we will find out the square of 21, which is 441. Then we will multiply it by 5, that's 2205, and then we will multiply it by 3.142, which is around 6928.11. So since we have to write down the answer correct to three significant figures, so this is 1 2 3, we will round it and it will become 6930. Okay, when we have to when we have rounded to three significant figures and we have 4 digits in the whole number, so what do we have to do? We have to first round it 2, and we have to see the digit next to it. If it is below 5, then we will keep it as it is, but if it's above 5, so we have to add 1 into it, and then we have to replace the digits next to it up to the last unit digit with 0. So it's 6928 rounded to three significant figures becomes 6930, and this will be the volume. And in the second part, when the diameter is given as 7 centimeters, so the radius will be its half, which is 3.5 centimeters. Okay, and the height is given as 9, so the volume will be 3.142. We are not taking 7 because it's given in the question, take pi is equal to 3.142. If they did not give us, so we can take 22/7. Here we have the diameter 7, so it's better to take 22/7 if it's not specified. Now 3.5 square multiplied by 9. First we will find out the square of 3.5, which is 12.25, right? And then we will multiply it by 9, so that's around 110.25, and finally we will multiply it by 3.142, so we will get the final answer, and that is around 346.4055. But since we have to write down the answer to three significant figures, 1, 2, 3, so it will be 3, 4, and the digit next to it is 4, so we'll not touch anything, will not do anything, and this is the last unit digit, so we'll not write any zeros here, and the answer will be 346 centimeter cube. And that's done. Question which says a cuboid measuring 7 centimeters long and 10 centimeters wide has the same volume, has a cylinder of radius 7 centimeters and height 10 centimeters. So basically they are saying that there are two different 3D shapes, both have the same volume. Now what do we have to do? We have to find the height of the cuboid, and we have to write down the answer correct to three significant figures. So these are the two shapes. For the cuboid, we are provided with the length, which is 7 centimeters, and the breadth is 10 centimeters, but the height is missing, and they are saying the volume for this one is we don't know what is the volume, but they are saying the volume of cuboid is equals to volume of cylinder. So let's write down their formulas. For the cuboid, we use the formula length multiplied by breadth multiplied by height, and for the cylinder we use the formula pi r square h. For the cylinder, they are saying that it has a radius of 7 centimeters and the height of 10 centimeters. So let's replace the dimensions. The length is 7, the breadth is 10, and the height is missing. Here the value of pi, they are saying take the value of pi as 3.142. Let's take 3.142. Multiply by radius, the radius is given as 7, so let's write 7 square, and the height is 10. So when we will multiply 7 with 10, we'll get 70h here, and here we will get 7 sevens are 49. 49 multiplied by 10 is equals to 490, and 490 multiplied by 3.142 is equals to 1539.58, meaning the volume of both the figures will be 1539.58. So it means the volume of the cuboid would also be the same. If we have got the volume of cylinder as 1539.58 and the volume of both of the figures is same, so the volume of cuboid would be the same. So from here we can say that if the volume of the two sides are equal, it means the height will be 1539.58 divided by 70. So we'll simply divide it by 70 and we will get the answer, which is 21.994. But we have to write down the answer correct to three significant figures, which is 219. This is the third significant figure. The digit next to it is 9. So we have to add 1 into it. It will become 10. We'll write 0 here. 1 will be carried and it will be 22.0. So 22.0 centimeter will be the height. Okay. Here's another question which says a cylindrical tin contains 365 centimeter cube of milk. 365 centimeter cube, as the unit has centimeter cube, meaning we are provided with the volume. That is, the volume of the milk inside this cylindrical tin is 365 centimeter cube. Then they are saying if the tin is 3.5 centimeter in radius, that is the radius of this tin is 3.5 centimeters, what would be its height? So they are telling us the volume of milk inside the tin and the radius of the tin, and they are asking to find out the height, and also take pi is equals to 3.142 and give your answer correct to three significant figures. So we can see that the volume is given, radius and height are radius is given and height is missing. We know that volume is equals to pi r square h. So whenever the volume is given, students, instead of using the formula this way, you can use the formula like this: pi r square h is equals to 365. Okay, because we have to find out the height now, so we need to make h as the subject. In this case, what happens? We will write down pi as 3.142, multiply it with the square of the radius, multiply it with the height, is equals to 365. So what we will do, we will find out the square of 3.5, which is 12.25, and then we will multiply it with 3.142. So we will get the product of pi r square, right, which is around 38.4895 h is equals to 365. So in the next step, to find out height, we will divide 365 by 38.4895 and we will get the answer. And the answer we are getting is around 9.483. Let's round it to three significant figures. So we will have 9.48 centimeter as the answer. It means the height is around 9.48 centimeters if it has a radius of 3.5 centimeters and the volume of the cylinder is 365 centimeter cube.